Good morning YouTubers, here we have a little bit of casting we're going to be doing today. Just go through a list of some materials that we have. We have a set of weighing scales. We also have a container, a vessel, in order to glue our resin bits to the bottom in order to create a cast. We have a glue gun. We have disposable gloves, just so we don't get too messy. We have our mould making general purpose silicone rubber. This is by Polycraft. This is a 10:1 by weight ratio, so 10 parts of this, 1 part of this. So basically I measure out generally like 100 grams of that and 10 grams of that on the scales. This gives you a nice pink rubber mould. And then we have to make our pieces afterwards, we have Polycraft resin. This is a 1-to-1 mix by weight, so 100 grams of each, and you get your casts. It goes off very quickly. I think you got about a 1 minute. What's the work time on this? Working time 2 to 2.5 minutes working time, and they're ready to go in 15 to 30 minutes. This stuff is on eBay, or you can use the manufacturer's website, MBFG I think they're called, but you can buy this on eBay for around about 27 quid for this 1 litre package, which is 1.1 litres of 1 litre of that, 100 grams of that. 1 kilo package, sorry. Mixing stick, and we also need the resin bits we're going to be casting today. So I'm going to be doing some 30mm bases, some Dockside bases for personal use, war machine. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to fit all of these inside this thing here. Basically you want to just space them out nicely. I've tried using Lego on a flat board, and it was okay, really messy, and I'm just trying to find a better solution to actually get a good cast. So what I'm going to do is pinch one of these Tupperware dishes without telling my wife, and see if we can get a good solid cast out of that without having to use the Lego. And this could be a disaster because obviously you can break the walls off of the Lego. There's also one quick thing while my glue gun warms up. There's lots of problems with casting in actual volumes of containers, and how much mold, silicone rubber will I need in order to give me, say, an inch or 225mm of coverage, just enough to cover these bases and make sure that the mold isn't too thin to actually withstand use. You don't want it to fall a bit as soon as you push one of your casts out. You can do lots of complex maths and trying to work out the volume or weight ratio compared to, because this stuff's heavy, heavier than water. But what I tend to do is I fill this container with water until it's got the water level is at the level I want, and then what I do is I get a mixing glass and I mark on the side how much fluid was actually needed, and then what I do is I take said fluid and I put my empty glass on the scales. I get my rubber silicone and I fill it until I hit the line, and then I make a note of the weight. So say it was 143 grams, and then what I do is I just do divided by 10, so I do 14.3 grams of my catalyst and whack it in there, give it a mix, and normally it works out quite well. I make a line, pour the water away, and now I know that line there is what I need to get about 25mm, so that's rubber silicone. And then I would take this empty cup sit it on the scales, zero them out. So they're zeroed, and now I would just pour rubber into there until I hit the line. Make a note of the weight, remove this cup, get a new container, zero it out, 10%, which is 14 grams say for example, fill it, and then I've got my level, I've got my volume of liquid to fill my container. Anyway, I think my glue gun should be warm, so okay, a little bit close. As long as this mould comes out okay, then I'll make a second mould for the remaining pieces. We may get some seepage under there, which means I'll have to tidy the mould up afterwards, which isn't ideal, might be a waste. And I may have to go back to using the Lego, which is horrid, I hate it, using Lego and clay. But, you know, we never know. Right, so they're in there. Right, my scales are zeroed out with my cup on. And here we go, we're going to fill up to the line. Okay, so we're at 323 grams. So we've got 323 grams, so we put that to one side. So we've hit the line. Our catalyst. Put our new vessel on there, zero our scales. So now we need 32.3 grams of this, approximately. So this one's a bit dodgy because it comes out very quick, and if you get it wrong, you can't go back. 32, 24, 25, 26. 32. There we go. Lid back on. Just get the cloth cleaned out. So we can't do the 0.3, my scales aren't good enough for that, so we're at 32. So little tiny bits can make a difference on mould making. If you're out by half a gram or something like that, it can make a difference to your moulds. But never mind. So now what we need to do is take your stirry stick, pour in your catalyst, and give this stuff a good mix. But you want to mix it without putting too much air into the mixture. Get your casting vessel back, and this is where you may be off camera a little bit, but what we need to do is pour into one spot. From the higher you pour your cup, now this is us there, you can see we've got air bubbles floating to the top already, but ideally what we want to do is hit the mould in one place so that the rubber oozes across every single nook and cranny. Some people paint the mould on their pieces first to make sure to get every single bit. I've not really had any problems with it doing it this way. So what I'm going to do is flip it round, and I'm going to aim for this corner from a great height. So I'm not going to be doing it close like this. I want a nice thin stream, because the thinner the stream, the more air bubbles get popped out of it as it pours in. So I'll start low, pour very, very slowly, and then come high like that. Okay, we're done with that. Okay, there we go. So you can see our air bubbles are coming to the surface, And now ideally you're going to give it a little bit of camera shake now, because obviously I'm going to spend some time giving the surface a little bit of a bang. And you can see the bubbles popping as they rise. Okay, here we are. This is 24 hours later. Our mould has gone off, it's hard. You can see we didn't have much seepage. They're all sat in there. Now it's a case of trying to get the mould out of this tub without damaging it. Let's see how we do. Oh, come on. A little bit of brute force and ignorance to see if I can get it out. I think this might be the problem with not using Lego blocks. Is that getting it out? Could be a problem. Here we go. Come on. Right. There we are. So we've got one of our bases still in there. Let's pop him out. Like so. And there we have our mould. A little bit of like tiny bit of flushing, but you shouldn't really notice that when you're pouring in. You can just get a blade and take it away as long as you pour level. Okay, back. Got myself a stirring stick. Got my gloves. And my wife's weighing scales. Right, a couple of cups, clean cups. 1, 2. And then what we're going to do is take a rough guess. That's hardly anything in there, so I'm going to zero out my scales. If they work, hang on. Okay, I'm going to zero my scales out. Like that. And then we're going to pour in this is part A. Mix volume 1 to 1, 2 to 2.5 minutes to work, goes white, room temperature, blah de blah, 60 degrees, okay, dangerous stuff, I think. And I'm just going to pour a minimal amount into here now. Let's say 9 grams. A bit more, 15 grams. There we go, 15 grams. Get cloth, right, and now I'm going to go part B. So that's part A to one side. Might not be enough, I think. Yeah, I reckon we're going to need a bit more than that. What were we at? We were at 15, weren't we? So I'm just going to zero it out and add a bit more. Let's make it up to 30. I don't reckon that's going to be enough. So if we add another 15, 13, 14, 15. So we're at 30 grams in there. So that is 30 grams in this cup, and then we're going to do the same for this one. So whack it on, zero it out, which it is already, make sure it's all working. Yeah, that's zeroed. What did I say, 30 grams, let's go for 30 grams. The problem with this is spilling it and actually pouring, so. 19, 20, 21. 30 grams of, that is the B. So finish with the scales, let's put them to one side so I didn't get resin on them. And now we have 2 cups, A and a B. Right, it's a case of mixing now. So we get our base to one side. I've got another cast to hand, you know, just got some drop pod markers and things just in case I got too much resin, don't want to waste it, I might as well just cast something. And now I'm going to combine the two. So in it goes. Make sure you try and get all of it, and then give it a mix. And this stuff gets hot very quick. Okay, so they are, that's that mixed. Put that to one side, and now we're going to pour it. Got about 2.5 minutes, so we don't need to go too quick. And just literally get your resin in and pour it. Okay, it looks like we're about ready to demold. What I did forget to do was spray my mould. You got to spray the molds in order to make the resin come out easier. So that was a bit of a rookie mistake. I forgot to put the release agent on. Never mind. We will do it next time. This was the spare resin I had left over. Let's just quickly pop it out. Basically, it's bits and bobs I can use for scenery. You know, it's like still a bit wet. There's you know, a ammo box and a door from a Razorback, I think that is. It comes in handy. I can just cut it away and use it for basing sceneries and stuff, you know, models and things like that. But that was how much resin over I was, which is a shame. And let's take a look at our bases. So just release it a bit. Okay, good job. A little bit of sanding on the base just to level them off, because I've got a slight ridge line there where you can see it. Slight ridge on the bottom, but a little bit of sandpaper and you'll get that up. Cobblestones, some wooden planks down by the docks. Dockside. There we go. So they all come out pretty nice. That one needed a bit more resin. I've left a hollow well. You can also fill that up with green stuff or something if I want to use it, or just recast it, to be honest. Yeah, needed a bit more resin. I think you've got to make sure the resin comes over the top when pouring. Anyway, there we have it. Put them to the side and get ready to make the next lot, the next batch. Cleaned out my tub, got all my hot glue off again, and I'm going to pour in it a lot, but I won't bore you with that. I should do that right now with the ones that I haven't actually cast yet, and call it a day there. Anyway, stay tuned, please subscribe, don't forget to check out our website, it's smallrobot.co.uk, and happy wargaming.